Reporting from the 2014 IADC Drilling Systems Automation Workshop in Galveston, I'm Joanne Liu. Joining me is John Barrett, past chairman of the Emerson Process Management. John, thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great to be here.
So John, during your presentation, you talk about the significance of evolving with technology and the digital shift. What can industry learn from that?
Well, my presentation is basically about what can happen when there's a big technology shift and companies either go to one side or the other. They either see it coming and take advantage of it, or they cling to the status quo for too long and they actually become victims of the new technology. So I'm going to be giving an example, for example, of the Kodak organization. The Kodak company owned the photographic world, the film world, and in point of fact, they actually invented digital photography. They have all the patents, but they put it on the shelf because they didn't want to mess up their film business. Other companies saw the technology, jumped on it, and if we fast forward to today, you see Kodak not a factor at all anymore, and in fact, it's out of business.
Interesting. And one of the lessons learned is understanding the difference between interoperability and interchangeability. What are the differences?
Well, interchangeability basically means that one thing is virtually a clone of another. Interoperability means that each item can be unique unto itself, but when connected as part of a system, they can work together because the communication between the items are defined and standardized. I can give you an example of that from the world we live in too, although it's old technology, and that is the fax machine. If you think about what would happen if each brand of fax machine could only talk to its own brand of fax machine, number one, the fax market wouldn't have been as big as it is. And number two, people would simply have not wanted to do it because they'd get locked into one brand versus another. So the industry standardized how the fax machines talk to each other, but they didn't standardize how they behave, where you load the paper, all the features and everything. So a fax company could differentiate itself if it wanted to without having to lose that wonderful benefit of having standardized communication so it could fit in with any other fax machine in the world.
Okay. And as we develop automation, or as automation enters industry, we need to standardize communication. Why do we need to do that, and what's the significance?
Well, in a way, the standardized communication is in effect the enabler for innovation. If individual components of an automation system can connect to each other and exchange information with each other in a standardized way, then what that does is it allows the people with the most expertise in a given area to concentrate on that, to develop wonderful new things, and then know that their contribution to the advancement of technology will fit in to a bigger picture, a bigger system. In the drilling world, there is no one company that can go top to bottom making everything that an operator or a drilling contractor would need. So in order to get the best of all worlds, the communication between each device needs to be standardized, or else you'll just have chaos.
Well, John, thanks so much for giving us some insight from the process automation side of the industry.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on drillingcontractor.org.